adalah PTS ini sendiri adalah tes yang digunakan untuk mengukur kemampuan bahasa Inggris yang sertifikatnya itu dapat digunakan untuk beasiswa, visa, dan kuliah di luar negeri. Dan juga menggunakan artificial intelligence sebagai penilaian dengan hasil yang lebih cepat dan juga lebih terjangkau dari segi biaya jika dibandingkan dengan tes-tes bahasa Inggris lainnya. Okay. Hello, Mr. Gordon.
Hello.
Oh yeah, hello. How are you, Mr. Gordon?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Oh yeah, hello, Mr. Gordon. I forgot to introduce myself to you. I am Giovanni from Best Partner Education.
Hi.
And today I will be the moderator for this workshop. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and looking forward to sharing about Pearson Test of English.
Maybe you can introduce yourself to our...
Sure, my name is Van Stone. I am the Client Relations Manager for the Pearson Test of English. And I look after Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore. So I'll be sharing with you today about our test. I'm originally from Canada, Vancouver, Canada, and but I'm based in Bangkok now. So nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Gordon. Okay, maybe Mr. Gordon, you can start the presentation today.
Perfect. Okay.
Time is yours, Mr. Gordon.
Hello, good morning. Salamat sore. That's the only Bahasa Indonesian I know, and I think it's good afternoon, not good morning. So the rest of my presentation will be in English, but I think many of you maybe are planning to study abroad or study English, so listening to me speak for an hour will be good practice for you to work on your English. So I'm going to share my screen here, which I hope everyone can see. Okay. So thank you for joining me today and listening to our presentation, students of Central Palace Pontianak. It's a pleasure to have you here today. And I'm going to tell you about the PTE Academic, which is English test, a high stakes English test that you can use when you want to study abroad. So for university applications, for migration, if you're looking at moving to another country, and also for professional bodies. So maybe later in life, you want to be a nurse or doctor, engineer, and you want to work in the UK or Australia. You can use our test as well for those visa applications if you want to migrate to another country. And our test is a high stakes English language test. You might be familiar with other tests like the TOEFL or the IELTS. So our test is a test like that. And I'm going to tell you today what makes it unique, or why maybe you should choose our test over for your English language test when you want to study abroad. And the reason what makes PTE special is that it's fast, it's reliable, and it's convenient. So these are the things that make our test unique. And as I mentioned, it's accepted and recognized by universities all around the world, as well as governments. So the company that I work for is called Pearson Education, and they're the ones who make the PTE academic test. And Pearson is the world's largest education company. So we make textbooks, we make online learning tools, we make assessments for from kindergarten right up to people working professionals. There's 24,000 employees in more than 70 countries. And because Pearson is experts in education, our test has many years of experience and expertise behind it. So, you know, it's a It's a test that has the best research and the best people in education development have come up with this test, English language test, to make it better than the other tests out there. So what is the PTE Academic? Well, it's a computer-based test. It's 100% computer-based, means you do the whole test on a computer and your whole test is marked by a computer. So what that means is that we take away the human marker and it actually makes the test more fair for the test taker. It means that it's unbiased and there's no human error. And I'm going to explain that a little more, but what that we use an AI marking to mark your test. So, and you can use our test when you're applying for university, if it's professional bodies, or if you're looking to migrate to another country. You can also use it for scholarships, which I'll talk about more, if you're looking at getting a scholarship for when you study in university. So I'm going to show you a short video about PTE Academic. I actually realized maybe you didn't hear the sound there because when you share your screen, you have to click a button that says share sound. And I don't think I did that for this presentation, so I apologize. But what that showed you basically was that the test is ready when you are, is what the key message is. It means that, you know, the last 2 years we've been dealing with, the whole world has been dealing with the global pandemic. Borders have been closed. It's been hard to go to other countries. And many students or professional people have had to put their plans to migrate or to study abroad on hold. So you had to say, oh, well, I can't go study in Australia now, but we're at a point where we're starting to see things get a little bit better and things are opening up around the world, which is great. And so our test, because of its unique features of being fast and convenient, is ready when you are ready to go and study in your program, right? So it will be there, ready for you to take, and easy for you to take when it's time for you to pursue your study abroad dreams. So that's what that video showed. So again, the differences in our test that I'm going to expand on in this presentation are first that it's fair. So we use the AI marking engine to mark your English. So we're only judging you on your English, not on other things like your appearance or your gender, a guy, male or female, or how you're dressed. None of these things a computer judges on. But with humans, there's always a chance that they are judging something else, right? It's fast. So you get your results back because the computer is marking it's a computer AI marking engine. It means that all the data you do during the test is being put through a computer marking engine. So it can spit out a score for you under 2 days. As our average score return time. So you can get your score results back in just 48 hours or less. It's convenient to book into. So you can book into a test center or a testing seat just 24 hours before a test date. Okay, so there's no waiting around. You don't have to book a month ahead of time. I could book a test for Saturday, or I could book a test for Friday afternoon today. And so you can book in right before an available seat date or available time. And we're recognized all around the world by thousands of universities, scholarships bodies, and for visas from governments. So I talked about the test being fair, and what makes it fair is we've removed the human graders. Okay, it used to be in some tests you have a human that grades your English, right? They mark your essay, they mark your speaking in an interview format, right? The problem with that is that there's always a chance that that human either is making a mistake, or maybe they're in a bad mood, or maybe they have what's called an implicit bias, right? It means they don't even know it, but there's something in the back of their mind that they're judging you on other than your English, right? Could be, many things. So we use an AI. Who knows what AI is? AI means artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, we use an AI system, meaning that if the computer has been trained to mark and recognize proper English usage. So once you do a speaking or you write an essay or you answer a question, the computer can look at that and say, this is this level of English, or this is a high level of English, or this is an intermediate, or this is a low level of English. And it will grade your whole test using that information and that artificial intelligence. So it really is a great feature. It's like some of you might have heard, nowadays they have cars that will drive themselves, self-driving cars, right? That's using AI. So this is, again, we've taken that same technology and used it to give you a better English test. So why did we want to remove the human raters? Well, this is the reason. You have this student 1, and she has an interviewer for her English language test. And she says, here's my answer. Okay, she doesn't answer. And this guy says, that's an average answer. It's okay. I give you a 5, right? Then you have this man, maybe he's in a different part of the world, maybe he's in the same world, but he has a different grader, he has a different marker on a different day or in a different test location. And he gives the exact same answer as this girl. And this human rater says, that's a fantastic answer. You get a 6, you get a 7, right? This is not a fair situation, right? And I don't know why. Maybe this guy had a fight with his family that morning, or maybe that's why he thought, oh, that's not a great answer. And she's really happy. She had a good breakfast and she says, that's a fantastic answer. Maybe it's because she has red hair and he has blonde hair, and this person thinks that people with blonde hair speak better English. That's what we call an implicit bias, right? She might not even know she has that bias, but it exists and it affects the score these students get, even though they gave the same answer. That's what we want to remove from English testing. And that's why we've developed a computer-based AI marking system. Because now you have this situation. She gives her answer into the computer and the machine marks it. And because it's using only data, it will always give the same result. That's a 5. He gives the same answer. This computer doesn't know what he looks like. It doesn't know what color hair he has. It doesn't see how he's dressed, that it's a man or a woman. So he says, that's a 5 as well. So now they're getting the same score they deserve. Okay. So that's a little bit about what makes our test fair and unbiased. So now if you're interested in taking the PTE Academic because of these great advantages, it's really easy to book your test. You can either use your smartphone, okay, and you can just go to pearsonpte.com here. And right away, you'll be on a landing screen that will ask you to book your test. So you will book online. You can also get the preparation resources from our website that I'll show you more later. So you book your test at the test center you want to sit on the time. You go and take the test at one of our test centers. Your scores are ready on average in 1.2 days. right? Sometimes even faster. I've had test takers say they got their results back 15 hours after they took the test, okay? But on average, it's about just over 24 hours. That's the average score return time. And once you got your score, you can start providing that to your universities that you want to apply to, okay? Or the program you want to apply for. So this whole process, book your test just 24 hours ahead, sit your test, get your scores in 2 days, and start sending them off to school. Whole process takes 5 days. So you could actually take the test. You could take the test 6 times in 1 month. Hopefully you won't need to. But yeah, if necessary, you could do that, right? So it's a great option if you have a deadline, say you want to apply for a scholarship and the scholarship deadline is 2 weeks, okay? And you don't have an English language score and you need that for your LPDP scholarship, right? Well, the PTE will get you that score within 2 weeks, whereas another test might not, right? You might not be able to sit it in time and you might not get your score back in time. So again, when you go to our website, you can follow, there's a registration manager. You can search seats for the test center that you want to sit at and find a date and time to sit the sets. And then, so it's a really simple process that I'll run through a little bit more. I also recommend that you reach out to our expert education consultants in Pontianak region, our best partner education. So they can guide you through this whole process really well. So if you want to, plus they can help you with a lot of other stuff like other university applications, just the test center, the testing component is one part of it, but there are experts who have helped lots of students sit the PTE test. So really good to help get their help. So, but essentially you choose, the landing screen looks a bit different now, but you choose where you want to study. And it will take you to the right test, PTE Academic or PTE UKVI, which is used if you want to study for UK university and you need a tier 4 student visa. So you need a government visa. So that could be, there's something called pathway or foundation providers like Study Group, Into, Navitas. They offer these pathways into university, and sometimes you will need, for their UK schools, you will need a tier 4 student visa. But for mostly you will only need a PTE Academic for your university application, for scholarship applications. So you choose, I want to study and I want the PTE Academic. You put in your country. So this says Laos, but you would put in Indonesia. And you'd see the 3 test centers we have in Indonesia. You choose what date's available and the time. It will ask you for some booking questions. So you fill out those pre-booking questions, just information like what language do you speak at home? Why are you taking the test? One of the questions is, how did you hear about the test? And you said, I heard about it through an education agent advisor, if that's how you heard about it. And then you put in, I heard about it from Best Partner Education, because that information is important for us to know who's recommending students, right? So that's really useful. And then you go to your card. So you go to your payment and you pay by credit card for your test. This is the test fee in Indonesia is 185 USD. Okay, so we have regional pricing, it's different. Now, when you're on the payment screen, you can put in a voucher. So maybe you don't have a credit card and you want to buy a voucher. You can, again, contact Best Partner Education and they can sell you directly a test voucher. And that's really useful. Then you put in that voucher and your test comes for free. The other thing that Best Partner Education can do is they can give you a discount code as well. So sometimes we have test discounts that we run. So sometimes they can help you with like 10% off. So that saves you actually like $18 on the test. If our test is 180 US dollars in Indonesia, 10% would be $18 US dollars. which is, a nice couple meals out when you save that 10% on the test. So that's basically how you apply. So once you've paid or you've entered your voucher, you get your test, and then you'll be registered. Your seat is registered, and you just need to go to the test center on the day. So as I mentioned, you'd probably be booking in Indonesia, probably in Pontianak, where our test center is at University of Tanjung Pura. We also have a test center in Jakarta at ILF and in Surabaya at KELT. And we do, in Indonesia, we do weekly testing at all three of these tests. So that means like test at least 2-3 times a week. But I think in Pontianak, it's not as often, but you can check the website for when tests are available. And then once you've booked your test, you'll go to a test center. And our test centers look like this. You do your palm vein scan, put all your possessions in a locker so it's secure, and you sit your test. You do the whole test in your own little cubicle you have your earphones, you have a microphone, so you can speak into it for the speaking component. And our tests don't have very much face-to-face interaction. So that was really good during COVID. We were able to keep running our test when other test centers had to shut down because we had social distancing already in place, right? Also, there's someone invigilating the exam. So there's someone, a test administrator. So they're watching to make sure, A, you're not cheating, but also if you need help. So if your computer freezes or something, which rarely happens, but it can, you would raise your hand and they will come and help you out. So there's someone there to assist you as you take your test. We just launched a PTE Academic online. So now you will not go to a test center. You don't have to go to a test center. So we'll still have our test center, but for some students who don't want to go to the test center or can't go to the test center, they have an option now to take it from home. So this is an online proctored test. So what it means is there's someone watching you take the test through your camera and making sure you're not cheating and administering the test that way. So we're just starting to collect recognition for this. So if you want to take this test, first you have to make sure that the school you're applying for will accept the PTE Academic online, okay? But I think it doesn't start until November 16th. We launched this test, and already we have, I think, 500 universities around the world who accept it. Okay, so starting to get recognition for this, and it will grow all the time. So we did this because we saw with the COVID situation that the world is unpredictable, and so test centers can be closed. Some people just might not be comfortable going to a test center, even if it's open, or maybe it's far away. Maybe you don't live near a test center, you live quite far away, which can be the case in Indonesia. We only have 3 test centers in those main cities. You're lucky that in Pontianak we have a test center, but maybe in many places of Indonesia, it's too far for them to go to the test center. So this will give other people in other places, different provinces, an option to take our test. So who recognizes our PTE test center tests around the world? So this is who recognizes the PTE Academic. We're recognized by every university in Australia and New Zealand. We're also recognized by the governments of Australia and New Zealand for all visa types, okay? So if Australia sometimes has things like post-study work visa, where you can study in Australia at maybe Macquarie University, and then afterwards you want to work in Australia, you can also use the PTE Academic for your post-study work visa. We're also used for migration purposes. So you need to take an English language test if you want to move to Australia for your work. And one of the things you need to do is an English language test, and the government accepts PTE scores for that migration. Also, maybe you want to go there and work in the future as a doctor or an engineer or an accountant. All of those professions require a certification. And to get that certification, you need an English language test. And again, they accept PTE. We're seeing more and more students now, they're actually choosing to stay closer to home. So many more Indonesian students, they might not want to go to the US or UK or Australia. They want to stay closer to home and study, but they still want an international education. So we're seeing more students choose places like Malaysia or Singapore. So in Singapore, we're recognized by the top 2 schools, NUS and NTU, for their undergraduate programs. Also, Singapore Management University, SIM, which is a really good school, Singapore Institution of Management, which has many international students. Okay, so, and we're recognized by 40 plus institutions in Malaysia. So these are popular destinations for Indonesian students to study. And you could also use your PTE score for studying there. And we're also, you can use our score PTE test for LPDP scholarships as well. So say you want to study abroad and you're applying for the LPDP scholarship, the PTE test can be used for that. 99% of universities in the UK accept us, also accepted for all UK visas. So again, if you want to study in a foundation program or sixth form college before you go to university, you might need a tier 4 student visa and you'll need to take the PTE UK VI. We also have accepted for the Chevening scholarships. We're accepted by thousands of universities in the UK, in the USA, Harvard and Yale, if you're very intelligent and are looking to go to Harvard, one of those Ivy League schools, you can use the PTE Academic. And we're accepted by 90% of universities in Canada as well. Just some top schools around the world. I'm from Canada, and so I can tell you that, like, University of British Columbia, that's near where I went to school. In Vancouver, very nice school. They recognize PTE scores. Some really top schools in the US. UCL is a very popular school for international students. University College of London. That's again, yeah. So UCL accepts our scores in the UK. So again, all of those. I know Indonesia, there's lots of scholarships, and many students look at using a scholarship for a study abroad. So we are recognized by many of the scholarships in Indonesia. The big one, LPDP, we just got recognition last year, 2020, for their scholarship. So we're accepted for all LPDP scholarships, domestic and international, and all the different ones they offer. Chevening Scholarship, Australia Awards accepts PTE scores, the Mora Scholarship, Fulbright, Ristek Dikti, I can never pronounce that. That one recognizes our scores, and New Zealand scholarships. So for many of the scholarships you may want to be looking at for your study abroad dreams, you can use the PTE score. And yeah, as I mentioned, this is from last year, but we're recognized by LPDP. And so if you're applying for an international scholarship, you know, these are the scores you need. We align with the other high stakes tests. So you might need IELTS 6 is a PTE 50. So maybe you've taken the IELTS and you didn't get the score you needed, try the PTE, you might do better in our test. It might suit you better. So it might be a better option. Another nice thing about our test is you can take a practice test beforehand and do an full mock test from your home and get a sense of how ready you are to take the test. So you can see what score you get in your PTE Academic. Sorry, these slides I'm just gonna skip through. So we've done something unique with our test. Our test used to be 3 hours. It's now from November 16th, it's only a 2-hour test. So we've reduced it. Some of the other high stakes tests are like 3 hours or 4 hours, right? We've reduced ours to a 2-hour format. And we've done research to show that we can get the same accurate results for a student's English level with a 2-hour test. And the advantage of this is that it actually, you can perform better as well. So a longer test, the problem with it is there's something called cognitive fatigue, which basically means your brain gets tired. And this is especially true when you're trying to produce language and think in a second language. That's a very mentally difficult task. To do that at a high level for 3 or even 4 hours is really very, very mentally taxing. So you get what's called cognitive fatigue. Your brain stops working as well near the end of the test. So what happens is your English level might be here, right? But as the test goes on, it goes steadily lower because of that cognitive fatigue. So what we've done is we want to show your true English language level. And to do that, we've shortened the test so that you can operate at your best level for the whole test, which researchers shown is about 2 hours, is perfect for showing, without that cognitive fatigue setting in. So yeah, you get the same great results just with a shorter test. And we think this will help students perform better as well. So this is the test structure now, and there's 20 different item types in the test. And so the first section is speaking and writing. So what you have is maybe a read aloud. So you'll have a section of text and you have your earphones, your microphone, and all you need to do is read that text, as best you can, right? And once you're done reading the text, we'll go on to the next one. You'll get to read it once for 20 seconds. Then you'll hear a beep, which means the microphone is opening. You'll speak and you'll see your voice is being recorded. And then once you've read it, you stop, it will stop recording, and then it will go on to the next one. Okay, repeat sentence. This one, you'll hear a sentence in your earphones, okay? The school has a department of archaeology, something like that, right? So I'll hear someone say that sentence. The school has a department of archaeology. Now, once I hear it, there's about a 3-second delay. My microphone will open and I have to repeat that sentence as I've heard it. The school has a, department of archaeology. And again, the computer is recognizing how well I replicated the English I heard. Okay. There's a describe image, which means you'll be given a picture, a graph, and you have to describe it for 40 seconds. You have to talk into the microphone saying what this graph shows, right? As I get later on in the preparation section, I'll talk about where you can see all these item types, where you can familiarize yourself with them. There's also a retell lecture, which means I hear a lecture for about 1 or 2 minutes. It could be about economics or art or something like that. And then I have to retell it in my own words. Okay. Answer short question. I'll hear a question. I just give a 1-word response. Summarize written test. Now, these two are the written component. So what they would do is I'd have a written text, maybe a paragraph or so, and then I have to summarize that in 2 sentences. I have to say in my own words what that text was about. And then there's an essay. So an essay would be you're given a topic and you have to write 300 words. It's only about 2 to 3 paragraphs about that topic, okay? The reading, if you're familiar with other high stakes tests, the reading will be very similar. There's a fill in the blanks. multiple choice, reordering paragraphs so that the paragraph makes sense, fill in the blanks with the right word, multiple choice where you give a single answer. And then listening, there's a summarized spoken text. So I'll hear someone talking to me, and then I need to make a summary of what they said. Again, there's multiple choice for listening. There's fill in the blanks. I'll hear something, and then I have to say what is the correct summary of that recording. Multiple choice, where I give a single answer. There's a missing word where I'll hear there'll be a text and there'll be little words missing, like fill in the blank. Okay. Another one where I'll listen and there's incorrect words, and I have to highlight what's the wrong or incorrect words, and write from dictation. I'll hear a sentence and then I have to write it myself. Okay. So there's 3 or 4 of these. There's 1 or 2 of these, depending on your test format. So those are the 20 item types that make up the PTE Academic. And I'm going to go show you where you can practice those 20 item types. So our test is actually a great option, but anyone who takes the test, I highly recommend that you practice the test, all those item types beforehand, because you'll develop test strategies and how to perform best. Just showing you how we've gone from 3 hour to 2 hour. For example, the describe image, which is actually one of the more difficult item types. You used to have to do 6 or 7 of those. Now you only have to do 3 or 4. So it's actually, you know, the more difficult item types like retell lecture as well. That's gone from 3 or 4 to 1 or 2. So, I mean, it hasn't gotten easier, but I think it's easier to perform better in the shorter format test. So after you've done your PTE Academic test, you'll get a score report. It will give you your overall score, and then it will give you your 4 communicative skills. And you'll get a score report code, and this is usually just what you need to send to the university for your application, right? So this comes to you in under 2 business days, so less than 48 hours, you'll get your score sheet. And then you can immediately send this as part of your university application. The scores are valid for 2 years. So let's say you can't study abroad this year, you could use your PTE Academic for next year when you're applying to your university abroad, because they're valid for 2 years, those scores. Okay. We align to the other tests as well. So this is what universities use when they want to say, so when a university accepts PTE Academic, they might accept an IELTS 6, and they say, well, the PTE Academic uses a different scoring. We use what's called a granular scoring model. So they'll say, we'll accept a PTE Academic 50. So if you get a 52 on your PTE Academic, you will get into that, you match your English score for that university. So you've reached that requirement. So they will say, okay, their English is good enough to study at University of Newcastle, Harvard, whatever it may be, okay? So if you want to take a PTE Academic test, as I mentioned, it's really good to prepare. Our best preparation material is our online practice test. Because our test is 100% computer-based and computer marked, you can do a mock test from your home, from your laptop anytime. And it will do all 20 item types. It will mark your essay, your speaking, just as the real test will, using the same AI. And you get a score report back in just 2 hours. 20 minutes. Okay, so the online score practice test is great to show what level you are at, show if you're ready to get the score you need, or just to practice, because it gives you the full simulation of the actual test. So I recommend you try it at home, and you have earphones and microphones, so it's like the actual test environment, and do it in a quiet room by yourself, and it gives you a full simulation. There is a fee for this test, $36 US, but sometimes you can get reduced fees if you do 2 practice tests or if you bundle with other practice material. Also, reach out to Best Partner Education if they're helping you with your university application or helping you book a PTE test. They can also maybe resell you a practice test or give you some advice on how to best book that or buy that. We have other resources that you can use that are free or paid. There's a question bank, which is $19.99. And this is all the item types, just many different sample questions that you can keep trying over and over again. We have a practice app that you can download from the App Store or Google Play. It's available for iPhone and Android devices, and it's 100% free, and you can practice from your phone on the go. And it will give you all the different item types that you can use. We also have some free courses that are available. So one of them is developed by E2 Language. It's an online language school out of Australia, and they've developed a 3-hour course, which is like an overview of the PTE test. They give you tips, they show you all the item types, they talk about the test format. Really useful resource for free to take, and you can do this, register and take that for free from E2L. So all of these you can find at pearsonpt.com/preparation. Also, you can talk to Best Partner Education. They've been helping lots of students not just book their tests, but how to prepare for the PTE Academic. So again, they're sort of our experts in, they are our experts in Pontianak. So reach out to them if you need help preparing, booking, and all the other things they can help you with there. We have textbooks available. So this is if you want to spend more time self-studying, improving your English. A textbook might be an investment you make. It has support videos, it has online activities, expanded question bank with 300 item types. The textbooks, you can get the hard copy or an ebook as well. The good thing about the ebook is it comes instantly, whereas the hard copy, you have to wait for it to be delivered to you, right? So maybe that's a good option. You can also bundle these as well. So if you go to our website, to preparation, you can see bundles where maybe I get a textbook, I get the question bank, and I get a practice test all bundled together, and then for a cheaper fee than it would be to buy each individual. So those bundles can be a good option. Another free course that's really good is Macquarie University has a PTE course for free that's just speaking skills. So that component is probably the one that's most different than another high stakes test. So you can do that with them. I think it's about 6 hours total, that course. But again, it's free to sign up for online, and you can do that free online course with Macquarie to learn about how to score well on the PTE speaking component. Okay. And our YouTube channel is a great place as well. So you go to our PTE official YouTube channel, and there's lots of videos that you can watch that will give you like tips and show you those item types I showed you before, like describe image. You can see what that looks like. You can watch a video that will show you, those different item types and give you tips as well on how to score well on those. And as I mentioned, the mock test, which will be the 2-hour format. I think from now, it's the 2-hour format, the mock test. So if you buy a PTE mock test now, You can do the full test simulation of the 2-hour format and get your results back in 20 minutes. Okay, so again, this is a great resource to show you where you're ready, how ready you are, and can you get the score you need for your test. So say you need to take a test and you need to get PTE 55, right? You can do our mock test, and if you get a 57, then hey, book into your test tomorrow. You're ready. If you get a 51, now maybe you need to take a little bit of time, download the app, do some question banks or watch a lot of the YouTube videos to prepare, and then try the practice test again. And this time you get a 59. Okay, now I'm ready, and you can go and take the actual test. This is just an introduction. I've been talking a lot about the PTE Academic, but maybe you want to try it. So if you want to try the PTE test, you go see this QR code. You can just scan that on your phone if you have your smartphone with you. Okay, and it's going to open up the taster. And what the taster is just 5 questions, actual item types from the test that you can try on your phone. So that's the taster. It's kind of a fun little introduction. There's a fill in the blank. There's a listening, and so on. So yeah, scan that QR and you can try the little mini quiz that we have available to give you a sense of what the PT is like. So that pretty much wraps it up for me. But why do more agents and why do more test takers choose PTE? Just to review, the first reason is it's fair. All right, so we take away human bias and we take away any chance for human error. And it means that no matter where you sit the test, Indonesia, India, China, everyone's being graded the same, right? There's no unfair advantage. It's fast. Your results are delivered in 1.2 days on average. Okay, so you can get your test results really quickly. So there's no waiting around for 2 weeks or even 7 days for a test result. It's convenient. You can book in to our test center just 24 hours ahead of a test date. It's even more convenient now because we have the online test. So you don't even, for some universities that you might want to go to, if they accept the online test, you don't even have to leave your home, okay? And we're recognized by thousands of universities around the globe, by the governments of Canada, by the governments who are hoping to get Canada soon, by the governments of UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Also scholarship bodies and other professional bodies. So if you're interested in learning more about the PTE Academic, go to our website, pearsonpt.com. You can find the information I gave you today there. That's also where you book your test. That's where you get your preparation material. And also follow us on our social apps. So if you use Facebook, Meta, is that what it's called now? Meta or something? It's not called Facebook anymore. If you use Meta, then follow us on at PTE Academic or Instagram. So they do give you updates on the test. We also can give you, we'll also give you, there's little quizzes and videos we share. So both are good places to follow us. We do have a TikTok now, but I don't think I think our marketing team is too old, so no one knows how to use it. So I don't think we do much on TikTok yet. So that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to take some questions. I saw a hand up and I think there's some questions in the chat. I'll leave this screen up. So again, you can try the mini quiz if you scan that. And yeah, thank you very much, students. Santa Paulos, it was a pleasure. You're a great audience and I look forward to some questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gordon, for your nice information. And let me tell you guys a little bit of what Mr. Gordon said. Jadi, Mr. Gordon menjelaskan bahwa kelebihan dalam memakai PTE test itu lebih cepat, lebih nyaman, dan tidak ada human error. Serta kalian bisa menggunakan PTS itu untuk apply beasiswa seperti LPDP, Chevening, yang seperti di USA, UK, dan universitas di Europe, Asia Tenggara, Australia, dan New Zealand. Dan itu sudah diterima untuk sertifikat PTE itu sendiri. Dan selanjutnya itu, kalian bisa tes PTE itu dalam waktu kurang dari 48 jam juga sudah bisa diterima hasilnya. Jadi sangat-sangat cepat ya. Dan untuk setelah tes PTE juga akan ada score reportnya atau laporan skor dari apa yang sudah kalian dapatkan. Dan PTE itu untuk IELTS itu jika kalian mendapatkan 50 atau 52 dan selebihnya itu jadi dia ada di skor 6. Oke, that's it. Jadi jika kalian ada pertanyaan, boleh ditulis di kolom komentarnya.
Ya, anak-anak, kalau ada pertanyaan boleh ditanyakan.
Great. Okay, thank you for the summary. And I'll do a question period now. If there's anyone, do we have time for questions? Maybe 5-10 minutes. So you can write them in the chat or you can ask directly. I saw someone had their hand up earlier. Question.
Tadi ada yang angkat tangan, Jenny. Apakah ada yang mau ditanyakan? Silakan.
If no questions. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, Central Palace students. It was great to meet you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and fair.
Oke, jika tidak ada pertanyaan, mungkin kita bisa foto dulu. Okay, Mr. Gordon, maybe we can take a picture first.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Okay. Jadi mohon untuk kamera.
You want me to stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, please. Okay, guys, please turn on your camera, please. Bentar ya. Wait. Oke, sekali lagi. Gaya bebas sekali lagi. Oke.
Ya. Oke, mungkin nanti kalau anak-anak ada pertanyaan langsung dengan kontak personnya aja ya. Mungkin anak-anak masih banyak berpikir dan mungkin mau bertanya juga.
Ya, bisa dicek di chat box-nya.
Iya benar. Nah, nanti bisa dihubungi nomor yang ada di chat box itu ya untuk anak-anak.
Baiklah, jika tidak ada, mungkin Ibu ada yang mau disampaikan, Ibu?
Dari kami sih sangat berharap ya bahwa anak-anak kami bisa nanti untuk bergabung, untuk bisa melanjutkan studinya dengan join ya dengan Best Partner Education ini. Kemudian seandainya nanti tertarik bisa langsung dengan kakaknya bertanya apa yang mau kamu sampaikan, menjadi pikiran kamu, mungkin karena bahasa atau apakah, bisa disampaikan langsung nanti. Oke, dari kami sangat berterima kasih untuk waktunya yang diberikan untuk anak-anak kami bisa mendapatkan info-info penting ya untuk nantinya mereka bisa melanjutkan pendidikan mereka di akan datang.
Iya. Terima kasih juga Ibu atas kerjasamanya. Kami juga berharap nanti anak-anak juga bisa melanjutkan pendidikannya itu, mungkin bisa juga ya ke luar negeri dan segala macam itu bisa
Benar.
juga bisa menghubungi kami nantinya, juga bisa datang jika ingin konsul masalah studi di luar negeri juga bisa datang ke kantor kami dan konsultasinya gratis gitu.
Iya, benar.
Alright, Mr. Gordon, thank you for your nice presentation and also your time for today. We're happy that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And everyone,
Bye.
have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Ya,
Bye-bye.
have a good day. Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
Ya, terima kasih.
Oh ya, teman-teman, untuk nomornya yang ini ya, yang terakhir dikirim ya. Maaf tadi typo.
Oke, berarti yang terakhir
Yang-
masuk ke chat box yang Ibu
Iya,
pakai
yang
ya.
terakhir, iya, tadi typo ketuker nomornya.
Oke, yang apa-apa. Oke.
Sudah boleh live room-nya?
Oke, ya makasih ya.
Sudah,
Ya, sampai jumpa.
sampai jumpa.